Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what sold video for last week, October 30th through November 2nd, which is Monday through Thursday. I try to do 2 of these videos a week. I do Monday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday, Friday through Sunday every week, just to kind of show you what I'm selling currently, to assist you in when you're out and about looking for things that, are doing well for me. Because, it's fine and dandy for me to show you all the things that I love to pick up, which a lot of you guys appreciate those videos. But it's even better when I can show you the things that are selling for me. Now, sometimes things take a while to sell. Plush in general is a long tail item. And I do have a lot of things listed, so, I'm going to make daily sales, and it's just, part of a volume business model like I have. But right now, I'm seeing an uptick, y'all. I hope you guys are seeing more sales. Also, this 4-day period, I had one day that was below my daily, my daily goal. Robert doesn't like when I say that, because he's like, what is your 7-day total? What is your 28-day total? What is your 90-day total? Because that's what's really the most important. You can't get stuck on the daily stuff, but I still pay attention to it. So I had one down day, not very much below my goal. But since then, my sales are just really, really surprising. I'm so glad. Fingers crossed that it continues through the rest of this month. And I hope, like I said, I hope all of you guys are seeing increased sales also. All right, let me go ahead and, first, look, y'all, I got a whatnot sale Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be doing all things action figures this time. A lot of G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles. It's the 12-inch G.I. Joes. I do think I have a couple of the small ones. We'll have a preview video out showing all the things that are going to be up for auction, and then come join us. Even if you don't want to buy anything, come join us in the chat. Let me know that you're there, that you're a viewer. It just helps. It helps, keep me calm knowing that I have my friends. You guys are my friends, right? That I've got friends there supporting my whatnot stuff. All right, now let's get to it. Y'all, I'm glad I don't rely on Poshmark and Mercari to survive, because it's awful. It's awful. I'm not quite sure what's wrong, but I'm not doing well on there. Etsy, I'm not even going to mention. They don't deserve even a mention. They're going to go away. And then probably Mercari too. So that way I can focus on Poshmark, eBay. eBay will always be first and foremost. I've been on eBay 24 years. March will be 25. I've been through every one of the changes that they do. So, it is my primary platform. It is our primary income. So eBay's going to always be. I use List Perfectly to cross list, but everything starts on eBay, and then I do cross list to these other platforms. But I'm very disappointed in my sales there. So I have 2 Mercari and 1 Poshmark to share from that 4-day time period. First thing was this Commonwealth Tan Rabbit from 1988, sold for $14. And then this, I talked about this in my last What Sold. I had 2 of these cats. One sold on eBay, and then 2 days later I got this one sold on Mercari, but they're going to the same town, and the 2 people that purchased it had the same last name. So I'm just wondering, you wonder. I'm wondering if 2 different family members have bought this as a gift, and how that's going to all work out. But this Kelly toy cat sold for $19. And then on Poshmark, I sold a pair of women's Express jeans for $18. eBay. I had some really good sales on eBay, y'all. But before we get into that, I gotta talk about this. I sold these Lululemon women's leggings. Now, these were from the same lot of clothes that I shared with you guys where it was a whole lot of high end. It had the Jenny Kane sweater, lots of Lululemon, some Athleta, some Ann Taylor. Just, it was a lot of clothes from one yard sale. And I sold these Lululemon leggings and I received a neutral feedback. They basically said that these are from Canada and they are knockoffs, but they want to keep them. There was no contact other than the feedback. So I checked. I went in. How do you determine if a Lululemon is a knockoff or a fake? And mine seemed to be okay, but if any of you guys really, really know Lululemon, I did ask my friend Shannon to take a look at the listing, and she said it seemed legit to her. I made a comment. I'm not going to argue with these people. I'm not going to send them any messages about it. I just responded that said, you know, based on the research that I did and the resources that I looked at, that they did seem legit. But they didn't even want to return them. So, nevertheless, these sold for $20 best offer. All right, then I picked these up at a yard sale. I did a bulk sale. I want to say I paid like 50 cents each. These are for an older model Cricut. They are just some of the cartridges that go in it. Sold for $15. I'm thrilled. Eden Oshkosh Bigosh Boy doll. I'm pretty sure this may have been from the high bid estate sale that I won several years ago. This doll sold for $24.22. All right, I love picking up vintage Christmas. This was a Beacon flickering flame electric lamp. Definitely vintage. Sold for $16.16. Jigsaw puzzle, y'all. I'm selling quite a bit. I've talked about this in several videos. I downgraded my shipping to the buyer pays the exact shipping that I would pay when I'm shipped stuff out. And I have seen just a dramatic increase in sales of items that I had calculated shipping on that were over £1. Lots of puzzles, lots of coffee mugs, lots of heavier items. And for those of you who are concerned about your shipping supplies, I make priority shipping the first choice. Most people are picking priority shipping. It's getting to them quicker. I wished buyers understood there's lots of issues right now with Ground Advantage and things taking a long time and making multi-coastal stops before they get to their destinations. But for the most part, almost everything that I sell now is still being shipped priority. So I'm not really having to be too concerned about the extra costs of shipping supplies. But this Down on the Farm jigsaw puzzle sold for $8.83. Pyrex coffee pots. Definitely pick them up when you find them. This is the vintage percolator. There is a 6-cup and I think there's an 8 or 9 cup one. But this was the 6-cup one. Almost always, this glass stem sells immediately. I did actually sell the top of the basket already, but now the glass stem sold within a day or two of listing it. Just the stem sold for $29.66. I can usually pick most of these percolators up around here for $5 or less. This is a made in Korea vintage clown bear plush, sold for $10 best offer. Iconic Crocs shoes, size 9, very different, look like tennis shoes, sold for $16.16. Harley Davidson bear plush from 1997, sold for $18. American Eagle women's jeans, size 14, sold for $17.71. And if you notice, a lot of my things are selling for my sale price. It's not even through offers. People are just buying now. I think they're starting to be looking for stuff for Christmas. Now, this is a Fisher-Price Puffalumps monkey from 1987. It sold for $22.45. Barrington Ballerina Rabbit sold for $18.55. Pillow Fort, I'm pretty sure that is a Target brand. It usually comes with a blanket. This was an ostrich, sold for $9. Still selling my bread and butter stuff too. Wish Pets Snowflake Snowman sold for $8. Coffee mugs, Hungary Coat of Arms sold for $8. Gund Barkley dog plush with a little plaid fleece jacket on. You can't see it in these pictures, but it just had a little coat, a little puppy coat on. It sold for $17. Starbucks coffee mug. I tend to pick up a lot of them that are older. Probably not so much things that are more current, but I tend to do better with the older ones. This was just a basic 16-ounce brown mug, sold for $11.66. A lot of times we get coffee mugs for a quarter, 50 cents, 3 for $1, that type of stuff at estate sales. American Girl Bitty Baby Outfits. This was just a little one piece and a t-shirt, sold for $16.12. Fisher-Price Alpha Go Round spelling game. Kind of big, but it does fit in that largest box that, you know, it's like 16 by 14 by 4, something like that. It sold for $25. Best Made Toys Dog Plush. I do very well with dogs. This one sold for $17. If you're new to my channel, I probably should have said this more closer to the beginning of the eBay sales, but I do not do free shipping. So when I say something sold for $17, the buyer did pay additional for shipping. This is a Thai classic. It was Carly the Calico Cat from 2000, sold for $12. Now, it didn't even have its ear tag. Tupperware pink and yellow storage case. I'm pretty sure I picked up 2 different ones of the stencil Tupperware stencils kits at the Goodwill bins in St. Louis. This is the first one to sell. I don't even think I've listed the second one yet. But this one sold for $45. Definitely keep your eyes out for those vintage Tupperware stencil sets. Lauer Water Baby. There's a whole series of Disney costumes that go, and Care Bears, stuff like that, on these Water Baby dolls. This was for the 14-inch dolls. The Dumbo sold for $11, best offer. Old Navy. I'll tend to pick up most plush that's Old Navy because it's going to be a limited release type plush, and then somebody who's lost a favorite plush or adding to a collection is going to be looking for them. This one was from 2003, sold for $8.02. All right, this was somebody purchased 2 of my Clark shoes. The top one, the Cloud Steppers, I had just listed, but the other one had been listed a while, so I went ahead and took some best offers on them. The 2 sold for a total of $27.99. Lego Duplo Jake and the Neverland Pirates. This one sold for $23.41. Now this has been listed for quite a while because I remember picking it up at the Goodwill bins in Asheville when I was going a lot. Right after I quit my state job, I was trying to build up my inventory, and I was driving to Asheville 2 and 3 times a week to get as much inventory as I could to build so that, you know, the more you have, the more you sell. And I remember picking this up. I swear I think it's just not sold in all of this time because the shipping just seemed to be more. It was a heavy 44-inch vinyl blow-up monkey thing. And, you know, since September, I'm starting to sell a lot of older stuff that's been listed that had the calculated shipping on because the shipping is so much more reasonable. But this monkey sold for $40.42. Garfield, cat, and Odie dog plush lot sold for $14. This is from the tote of homeschool curriculum that Robert picked up a couple of months ago. So paid $45 for a large tote. It's probably half gone at this point. And these Ace booklets sold for $22.45. Vacuum sealer canister lid. Anytime I find any of those vacuum sealer parts, you know, the canisters, the tubing, any of that stuff for people who like to seal their products to keep them fresh. A lot of times they go with those vacuum machines. This particular one, just the lid, sold for $8.83. Ty, The Secret of Life, Pets, dog. This is the larger 12-inch version, sold for $10. Now these next two I thought was the same buyer because they were back-to-back sales, but it was actually two different buyers. This is the Heller Massimo pink cereal bowl. This summer we went to a yard sale and I paid $10 for a box that had several of these Heller Massimo Vanelli cereal bowls. There was pink and purple plates and I think a coffee mug. This one bowl sold for $9.95. And this was one of the pink plates, and it sold for $11.66. All right, I picked up a bag of just vintage plastic cowboys and Indians, and it ended up being like 3 or 4 different things that I split up. These were just seemed to all go together, and they were colorful cowboys and Indians. I just kind of picked a price point, and I got an offer of $38, so I went ahead and accepted it. Geo Tracks, Fisher Price. This was the tracks to the Christmas Toy Town. I think the last time we went to the St. Louis bins, I picked up a lot of Geo Tracks, and then I make them into small lots. A lot of times this time of year, parents are looking for things to add on to sets that they already have. I don't think Geo Tracks is being made anymore. I'm not quite sure. But I ended up selling these snow-covered tracks for $24. Garanimals, I love that brand. Some of it's bread and butter like this. Some of it sells for quite a bit more. This is the little blue and white cow, sold for $8.96. This I just recently listed. I picked up at my favorite little estate sale company that we go to. It was half price day. It was a stack of this stuff, these dishes, but it was like a big plate, a smaller plate, a salad plate, a cup and saucer, and then a couple of cups. I listed all of it individual so that somebody could add to a current set that they have. This dinner plate by Adams, Singapore Bird Turquoise Calyx Ware. All of those words I got from looking at other listings that were similar, but this plate sold for $23. I paid $7.50 on half price day. Anime doll plush. This is just another one that has been listed for quite a while and finally has sold. You know, I like when I sell some of this older stuff. You know, it's good to see it finally going out the door. It sold for $10.45. False graph. Bought this probably 2 years ago. was not a good buy. It does not sell well. Actually, I think I had decided I was going to take this listing down, all of them that was in this series, and either reconfigure it so that I could be selling a couple of plates together, or I may just donate it. I haven't quite decided. But in the meantime, with me procrastinating on ending them and pulling them, the Sugar Dish and Creamer did sell for $10.45. But definitely most false graph, y'all, is not worth picking up. Always, always check the comps. There's probably exceptions, but very few exceptions, I think. This is a viewer sale, so thank you so much again, Sherry, for purchasing this Plush Creation Moose plush from 1994. Sold for $20.21. Anytime you guys see these nuggets, they don't even have to have their accessories. They tend to do very well. These were from 1988. I had a lot of 8 of them. I think I picked this up at that yard sale where I showed you guys video footage. It was just a whole bunch of McDonald's toys. These 8 ended up selling for $22.45. All right, another pair of Clark's women's shoes sold for $16.12. Y'all, this too is another one that was listed for quite a while. It was a composition doll with a cloth body, but it did have a damage to the head. I'm so glad. Hopefully somebody's purchasing it to fix or restore. It still sold for $31.51. And y'all, I found it at the Goodwill bins in Asheville. I don't know how it hadn't been damaged more, but I just had to save it. All right, bread dough makers. I'm telling you, if you can get them cheap, the baskets and the paddles tend to do very, very well. This was the gasket that went inside of the basket with the paddle, sold within days of me listing it for $22.45. It was this Turbo Baker bread dough machine. And then my last 2 sales I'm sharing are the best 2 for that 4-day period. I picked this up from the yard sale that T&N Pickers had when they were getting ready to move. It is an Enesco musical strike up the band trumpet. I did not have a power adapter for it, so I wasn't able to test it. And so it sold for $85 best offer. And then my best sale of that time period was this tabletop size Empire blow mold of Santa and 2 reindeer. I paid $1 for this at a yard sale, cleaned it up, and it sold probably within a month of listing for $100. And it's so small, the wires come out of the sleigh that the reindeer are, and it fit in a normal priority box. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tomorrow, which is the day that this is going to be released, we're going to run to Asheville to the bins and hopefully get some footage of finding some good stuff. We don't have Trader Joe's in our area, so I like to go to Trader Joe's when we're there also. So we're just going to make a day of it with my sister, and then get back home and get to work for the weekend and finish my whatnot. I have a whatnot this weekend, so I got to get home and get this finished and get ready for it Saturday. All right, y'all, get to work.